the ministry is tapered to the woman.
Or money.
You can't put every church in the same boat.
I'm not,
I,
but what we can do, we can speak on majority.
Little bro, my church ain't like that. Everybody, the message is for everybody. Maybe some days the message might be for men, and some days the message might be for women. But at the end of the day, we're still the same thing. Like everybody's doing the same thing. Let me rephrase my point. Like sometimes the pastor might be like, "Oh, that's why like women need to start thanking their man for working hard, for providing for them, for being respectful, being loyal." And the next Sunday, you can be like, "Man, you need to respect your wife, her opinions, allow her to express her views, her feelings, you know, treat her right, treat her like a queen, like a princess, stuff like that. Like just alternate to whatever."
And that's the majority of the church experiences. Like
Mm.
my grandma, God was gonna send her man her whole life. She's single as fuck right now. They were preaching that shit at the church. Oh, you just be
Every church is not the same.
every
can,
church ain't the same, but we
can,
know what's going on.
can I ask something? Because someone brought this up to me over the weekend regarding a couple of the churches. Because they went to a couple of churches and they were like, you know what? I'm so disgusted with churches nowadays because all they're doing is asking for money.
That's it.
Asking for money. So I have a question. Do you think it kind of caters to women because, women, we tend to spend more money regarding frivolous stuff, let's say the beauty industry. Do you think that it kind of caters to women more because they know we kind of drop more money when it comes to church or we
Every
hear
church that I was a part of, the pastor had a job.
Every church ain't the
That's what I'm
same, man.
saying. You can't say. As a matter of fact, the church that I grew up in, my pastor was an executive, an automotive executive, and he had a bag, so he didn't need none of that. So I think that the thing is it's similar to when we talk about the black community or people that have the biggest voices on social media. It's the ones that yell the loudest that get the majority of the visibility. And so a lot of times it gives the church a bad name, but that's not a representation.
Like that gay pastor Jamal Bryant, it's not. It might not be Jamal Bryant, but it's some gay pastor, bro. Like I forgot what he did. I didn't know he had them do the crowd surfing thing during Christmas, and he went viral. That pastor, he's sus. Like, bro, I don't even have to talk about it. He's sus. Yeah, that pastor, bro. Like, those people get clout, and then everybody start thinking the church is like that. That everybody crowd surfing and doing all that nonsense in the church. No, we not doing that, bro. We come in there singing gospel, worship music, hymns. That's what we do. Like, we're not doing crowd surfing in church. Like, come on, bro. That's foolishness. It's foolishness.
Of a lot of the different things that people are doing across the board. It's a lot of good places. It's a lot of dope places. They're not all just the church. And so I think that, it's easy for him to lump that in there, especially for a guy that, doesn't exhibit anything that the church preaches. So, he can rail against it if he want to. But the reality is that all of the women that I know that went to church is married. If we listen, I would rather him say colleges are keeping women single than the church.
Same
I
thing.
understand. I
Mm,
understand. No, it's not the same thing. I understand.
uh,
I understand that there's a perception, and I also agree with the idea that there are some things that are wrong with some of the largest churches that do pander to women. That is something that we can also.
What's it called? The mega churches, bro. Joe Osteen, T.D. Jakes, and a few others. That's him. That's Tim Ross guy. Tim Ross, the yellow glasses man, the cursing pastor, and that other guy, Mike Todd, Mike Fraud. Those mega churches. Those are the false churches that people look at and be like, that's church. That's not my church at all. We stand on the word of God. We believe in God. We stand on Bible. We stand on principle, character, not church funds offering, tithing. That's not what we do.
Acknowledge. And there are some things that I believe that need to be fixed. However, however, I do not believe that that is a church only issue. I think that it's more or less a cultural issue. Listen, how can Dr. Umar be the one that's at the forefront of having that conversation when he a two-time baby daddy?
Facts.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't even
Fuck,
know
he
that
not even
myself.
married.
Man,
Listen,
that boy got what, 2 baby mamas? Holy, I didn't know that, man. Hey, Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar. That boy doing it, boy. That boy doing Satan's work.
He not even married. The half the time that this nigga get on the live, he talking about King Kong consciousness, baby, come get some. The fuck we talking about?
Mr.
Listen, no. I want listen. The church say you will know them by their fruits. You will know them by their fruits. Who is this nigga to speak on
The church or the Bible?
righteousness? Now, if you want to talk about clinical psychology, cool. I actually agree with him on some of the things that he talked about with regard to that, especially like when he's talking about homosexuality and he'll use like Dwayne Wade's son or something as an example or whatever. I agree with some of his points on that. But come on, man.
let's be for real. The whole church is get money scheme. Hey, can you pull that screen share up?
It really isn't.
Okay, this right here is when TD Jakes promised that it was gonna be my year. Okay, so I went after it won my year. I went on Twitter and asked them for my money back. You see, he blocked me. He blocked me. This 2018 now.
I don't know what you're
So tell me it's not about the money.
I think
Bro, Goofy, you went to a TD Jakes sermon. You went to the fakest pastor's church in the world sermon, and you thought something was gonna happen in your life. Bro's like, me goes to Joel Osteen and actually going to heaven. No, bro, that don't work.
the church, even Anton, you've done stuff in your Million Morning Show showing these pastors, got in these big chains. What's that pastor got robbed? Like a lot.
Man, that guy was not no pastor. That fake man of God thing in New York. That man just got arrested for wire fraud. I think he got served like 10 or 20 years for that nonsense. That was not no man of God. That was a freaking devil. It says what the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And that was that man. I don't know if he killed anybody, but he probably did. Who knows? Allegedly, he probably did. Because if you're stealing money, you're probably going to commit the other sins too.
Of these pastors, and let's just be honest,
Come on,
a lot of
but
these pastors,
that wasn't a church. That wasn't a church. That was a fucking Brooklyn Harlem hustler
true.
that recently got convicted of fraud.
Okay.
The dude's name was Lamar Bishop,
Mhm.
and that's not a representation of the real church.
Okay, but some of
that
these
was a
pastors
church, though.
are cheating on their
Anton,
wives.
respectfully, that was a church.
Stuff. Like, so it's like,
John
Some
Gray.
of them.
Well, but I
Again,
think
like I said, I think that the church has its own issues, but I think to
Right.
harp that on the church is disingenuous. I don't believe that you can do that. Just like as a blanket statement, if we start want to go into context and say, well, some of the big churches got gay choir members and stuff like that, you can start to dig in and start
Yeah.
to talk about some of the individual things. But that's like saying all cops is bad. All cops are not bad.
yeah.
Like you can't just throw a blanket statement on that shit and say it. That's not true. I don't agree with that. Because I know that the church that we was in, when I was coming up, the idea was, listen, if you want to be rebellious, this is what the message was to the women. If you grow up and you decide that you want to be rebellious, the minute that you decide that you want to get a boyfriend, you marrying him. And as a matter of fact, I just linked up with my cousin yesterday. We the same age. Her mother and my mother are sisters. We grew up in the same church. She decided that she wanted to have a boyfriend, and she got married at 18 years old. You was not having sex out of wedlock. You were not going to be out here doing what you wanted to do. You wasn't going to be slutting it out on campus. She got married at 18. We literally are the same age, born 2 weeks apart, and she been married for 4 years longer than me. She got married at 18. I got married at 22. You were not about to be out here doing no fuck shit. So when we talking about being single, I think that we talking about being single as the world pertains to what single is. Y'all think that being in a relationship mean that you're not single. We was raised differently. We was raised to believe either you married or you single.
Yeah, bro. I guess it is what it is. I think I'm about to end. I'm about to end stream. Duke the Don. Who the hell is Duke the Don? Who is that? I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm about to broke the internet.
To this day, listening to Paul Washer's Bible sermon still gives me goosebumps.
And not to be like the great majority of American Christians, but to be like Jesus.
Sit here for another 3 to 5 minutes. I only been here